he struck his brother down. In the heat of an early world, two sons of Adam and Eve live as farmer and shepherd on a fragile earth. This is the real story of envy and the first murder, and what God does when blood is shed. Cain is the elder son who tills the ground. He is proud of his labor, but carries a weight when yields fall short. He believes the soil defines him, and seeks God through what he produces. Abel is the younger shepherd who leads the flocks. He brings the firstborn of his flock as an offering, trusting that the best is for God. His devotion is open and simple, like a song he can barely name. When harvest time comes, Cain brings some of his crops, and Abel brings the firstborn of his flock. The scene is quiet, both present gifts at an altar. In that moment, offering is not ritual alone. It is a window into the heart, and what each man trusts will stand before God. As the smoke rises, God turns his favor toward Abel and his offering. The fire glows warmer, and Abel feels a quiet acceptance. This acceptance shows that God notices not just the gift, but the faith and the heart behind it. The household senses the difference. But Cain's face falls when his offering is not accepted. He is angry and his countenance is downcast. Envy comes seeping in. The text says his face is down, but beneath that is a deeper disturbance. He feels judged and diminished. That feeling will drive what comes next. In that very moment, God speaks to Cain. He asks, "Why are you angry? Why is your face down?" God warns that sin is crouching at the door, desiring to master him, but he can rule over it. This is a moral instruction. God sees anger before it kills and offers a way of mastery rather than surrender. But Cain's anger hardens. Instead of turning inward to repent, he nurses his pride. He avoids the path God offered. Days pass, and the tension between the brothers grows, rooted now in jealousy and perceived injustice rather than in a single rejected gift. As the story continues, Cain calls Abel to the field. On the surface it looks like a brotherly walk, but beneath it is rage wrapped as invitation. Cain has resolved to remove what he sees as the source of his wounded pride. The field will become the place of choice. In that very moment in the field, Cain rises against Abel and strikes him down. The blow is sudden, and the sound of flesh on earth echoes like a new thunder. Abel falls and does not rise. This is the first murder, the first time one human sheds the blood of another by intent. When silence falls, God calls out, "Where is your brother Abel?" Cain replies with a question, "Am I my brother's keeper?" The exchange is chilling. God presses Cain to account. This dialogue exposes not only guilt, but a refusal to accept responsibility for another human life. Then God declares judgment. Cain is condemned to become a restless wanderer, cursed from the ground that refused to yield for him. The punishment is both social and existential. His work will not prosper, and he will live with the weight of what he has done. Justice and mercy now clash in strange ways. But Cain is afraid that others will kill him in revenge. The sentence is harsh, and he foresees retaliation. His life will be consumed by fear and exile. He pleads, "My punishment is greater than I can bear." This admission reveals his conscience now awake to the cost of his deed. In that same scene, God shows a measure of mercy. He places a mark on Cain, so that no one will kill him. The mark is both a sign of protection and a reminder of guilt. It makes Cain known and keeps him alive, but marked for the rest of his days as the one who shed blood. Days pass, and Cain leaves the presence of his family to live east of Eden. He builds a city and tries to create legacy, yet the mark and his conscience travel with him. His exile is both a removal from home and a testimony to the consequences of choosing anger over reconciliation. As years pass, Cain fathers descendants who shape city life, craft, and music. The narrative shows human creativity and accomplishment even in the wake of guilt. Yet the story keeps returning to one truth: technology and culture cannot erase the moral wound left by violence between brothers. Meanwhile, Abel remains the silent witness. The story does not forget him. His name becomes a marker of innocence lost. The memory of Abel presses the family and posterity to reckon with the cost of sin. This remembered life becomes a moral ledger the community cannot easily ignore. When the dust settles, Genesis 4 teaches that God sees the heart, and that sin escalates when anger is not mastered. The passage shows both judgment and mercy. Cain is punished, yet spared a mortal revenge. If this story moved you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you do not miss the next one.